I will explain how to crochet Goggle-eyed figurine. The basic flow is the same as that of the doll in Practical Part 3. In other words, I crochet both hands and both legs in advance and crochet the body while combining and joining them. By the way, this time I use super fine yarn and a 2.5 mm crochet hook. Unless otherwise specified, all single crochet parts are single crochet back loop only. Then, let's explain the important points while checking the number of stitches in detail. The arms are crocheted in 7 rows as shown in the figure. Note that only in the 4th row, insert the hook into the front loop to crochet and angle the fabric. The legs are crocheted in 8 rows. By reducing the number of stitches once at the 4th row, a constriction is made. Once both arms and legs are crocheted, the legs are combined first. It starts from the 3rd stitch on the right side of the slip stitch. Pull out the thread and crochet a chain stitch. Slip stitch and chain stitch. Repeat this to connect 5 points. Note that the outer loops are connected at both ends of the join, and at the stitches between them insert a needle into all the loops. If you count from the tip of the leg, the combined row is the 9th row. There is no increase or decrease in the 10th row. From the 11th row to the 13th row, reduce the number of stitches on both sides of the body. The 14th row has no increase or decrease. On the 15th and 16th rows, increase the number of stitches on both sides contrary to what you did before. Now I have a narrow waist. Join the arms in the 17th and 18th rows. In the 17th row, crochet 3 binding stitches, but there is a point to be noted here. For the middle of the 3 stitches, insert the needle into the slip stitch of the arm part and crochet. In the 18th row, the number of stitches is reduced on the side of the arm. From the 19th row to the 23rd row, reduce the number of stitches on both sides of the body. Finally, the number of stitches became 21. There is no increase or decrease in 24th and 25th rows. Start crocheting the head from the 26th row. Note that on the 26th row, insert the hook into the front loop and crochet. Even in the 27th row, the number of stitches is increased to 41. There is no increase or decrease between 28 and 31 rows. The number of stitches was greatly reduced to 21 in the 32nd row. Finally, crochet the top of the head. There is no increase or decrease in the 33rd row, but insert the hook into the front loop and crochet. In the 34th row, crochet 2 chain stitches between the decrease stitches. In the 35th row, skip the chain crocheted in the previous row and crochet a decreasing stitch. In the 36th row, put 3 chain stitches as shown in the picture. How to finish the yarn tails is also a point. Thread the yarn as shown in the picture and close the crocheted fabric so that the chains on the top of the head spread sideways. The base fabric is now complete. Next, let's decorate the surface by putting a thread through the stitches of Suzi-Ami. First, make the area around the eyes. Here, we will cut the yarn to about 80 centimeters and use it. However, this is the case when using super fine yarn. Note that if you use a thicker thread to make a larger body, you will need a correspondingly longer yarn. Take out the thread from the center part of the crocheted fabric between the 29th and 30th rows and pass it through the stitches as shown. When it comes back to the center, thread it again like winding around the thread you passed first. After returning to the initial position and finishing the thread, the eyes are completed. The mouth is made by winding the thread about 3 times at the 28th row. About 100 centimeters of thread is used for decoration around the collar. Start at the slip stitch position and go around the fabric with one thread. Wrap the thread about 3 times around both breasts. Use about 40 centimeters of thread for the arm decoration. Set the slip stitch position to 0 and pass the thread from the 9th stitch on each side as shown. The decoration around the waist is divided into 3 parts. There is one thread on each side starting from the slip stitch and leading to the spiral. There is one thread on the front part of the body. The thread leading to the spiral should be about 80 centimeters each on the left and right, and the thread on the front should be 40 centimeters. It will be easier to see the position if you put the thread on the front part first. Next, thread the left and right sides, and it's done. You can use various colors to make the decorative string colorful, or you can reduce the number of colors and make it closer to the actual clay figure. It is also good to change the way of threading and add arrangement to the pattern. If you come up with something, please try it. Thank you for viewing.